This is what separates a prep school education from a public school education. This is what separated the king's education. When he raised his princes, they were not pampered. We tend to think that they were pampered because of the democratic society we live in. We like to think that all the kings, they just ate cake all day, like these kind of fat, lazy, pampered, weak individuals. Not at all. They were masters of leadership. They understood that they had to lead from the front. They often led their soldiers into battle and died on the battlefield with their men. They couldn't afford to be pampered. Everybody wanted their throne. And when they were raising their children, they understood that when I'm gone, whatever age, this son, he might be king of the empire. And if he is weak and he is pampered, one of the nobles will take his head off and take his throne. So they raise their children for greatness. It's incredible, some of the training they put their kids through and the labors that they put their kids through. They taught them the subjects of greatness. We don't even know the subjects of greatness anymore. There are 9 subjects of greatness. The public school, it's spelling, it's history, and they don't even teach history. It's fake history is what they teach, socialist fables. They teach math, they teach reading. These are important subjects, but these aren't the subjects of greatness. If you're a great reader, the best reader in your class, oh, cool. What will that do for you in the real world? Will that provide a better lifestyle for your family? Will put more food on the plate, build wealth, influence, anything like that? No. And believe it or not, wealth and influence and power is important. We've been taught that it corrupts. That was part of the propaganda from the Enlightenment, that power corrupts you. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So God must be the most corrupt, and the cops must be more corrupt than the criminals that they arrest because they have no power. The homeless people on the street, they must be saints. They have no power. That's why they never rob you and do drugs or steal or attack you. Parents, they must be super corrupt because they have power. Their children have none. So their children are probably saints. But when I went to prep school, I realized it was the opposite. When you put somebody in a leadership position and gave them real authority, the leadership role, they took responsibility on, and usually it sobered them. I'm not saying there wasn't abuse of power. Sometimes there was, but the most abusive people were often the people without authority, without any sort of leadership position, the privates. They were the ones fighting and stealing and cheating, right? At least at higher rates than the officers in charge of the academy. It was a secret that if you had a kid who was really bad at, let's say, room inspections, you could make him your corporal. I was a sergeant, so I made this kid who failed room inspection every day my corporal. He was now in charge of inspecting other people's rooms. And overnight, it was amazing. His room was to the highest standard because now he was a leader. So don't just diswrite power. Like, it's important. Wealth is important. It's not a sin. It's how you feed your family. If you want to do something great, some great movement, you're going to need other people. And those people need to live and eat, and you can hire them with wealth. That's one of the powers. But they don't teach those subjects in school anymore. They don't teach it in the homeschool world anymore.